Hey, are you really planning to attend my son's wedding? The groom's father, who is James' friend, made a rude comment. Guests from a low-tier company like yours are nuisance. Shouldn't I ask you to leave now? For the record, my workplace is not a lower-tier company. I just came here to attend my friend's wedding. I can't believe he would speak to me like that. This is an important event for my friend, but I can't help it if his father talks to me like this. Understood? Excuse me. I left the venue promptly. My name is Nick, and I'm 30 years old. I started working at the cafe during my student days and ended up staying there for 3 years after graduating. I didn't start my own cafe, but I opened a specialty shop that sells tea leaves, which I've always loved. Thanks to being featured in a magazine, I received various requests and now provide my carefully selected tea leaves and products to several shops and accommodation facilities. Since I opened the store, I've been working hard, sacrificing my days off. Of course, there are many tough days, but I feel even more fulfilled than challenged. I'm not dating anyone, let alone getting married. However, I'm happy to be able to work on what I love and immerse myself in it. Lately, I've been spending my days off working one day or another. But today was different. Today is the wedding of my high school classmate. For this day, I returned to my hometown after a long time. James, my friend, and I were in the same class for 3 years during high school. On the day of our graduation ceremony, he said to me tearfully as I was about to move to New York, "Nick, even if you go over there, don't forget about me, okay?" "What are you talking about, James? Of course I won't. I'll definitely come to visit you. So will you show me around New York?" "What's up with that?" "Well, I'll study up so I can take you around various places, James. It's gonna be lonely, but I'll do my best in college. Looking forward to seeing you, Nick." "Me too. Let's both do our best." We had conversations like this, spending our youth together with James. We both loved anime and often talk about our favorite characters. Despite having such a boyish side, he actually holds the position of an executive at a certain company. The reason being that James' father is the president of a well-known company in their hometown, and his son, he naturally ended up working for his father's company. He used to complain about the strained relationship with his father since his school days. Nevertheless, he seems to have come to terms with it and is determined to succeed his father. Unlike James, I chose a job I love without considering my family's wishes. That's why I respected James for prioritizing his family's circumstances over his own feelings. To me, he's a one-of-a-kind presence. If I could attend James' wedding, there would be nothing more joyful than that. As I made my way to the venue, my steps felt light and a smile naturally appeared on my face. I can't believe how happy my best friend's wedding is for me. Upon arriving the venue, I gave my name at the reception. Just as I took out the congratulatory gift from my breast pocket, I heard a voice from behind. "Hey, are you really going to attend my son's wedding?" When I turned to the direction of the voice, there stood James' father. He gave me a suspicious look, sighed, and spoke again. "You're my son's friends, right? The one who came to New York right after high school graduation." Yes, that's correct." "Why would a lowlife like you have the audacity to attend my son's wedding?" "Lowlife? Oh, sorry. I let my true feelings slip. Well, let's just say you and my son don't match." "I'm sorry?" Even if he's the father of my dear friend, I can't stay silent after being spoken to like this. Suppressing the urge to yell, I calmly retorted, I understand your words, but have I done something to deserve being spoken to like that? Huh? What? You're talking back to me? It's not talking back, but I came here just to attend my best friend's wedding. Yet I don't appreciate being called a lowlife. Best friend? You, my son's best friend? You're just one of his ordinary friends, a mere employee at some small company. How cheeky. Well, actually, I'm not an ordinary employee. What? Are you telling me you're just a part-time worker now? No, that's not it. Huh. I can't believe it. How dare you, with your lowly position, think you can attend my son's wedding? Is it necessary to go that far? I just came here to attend James' wedding. What's wrong with coming to celebrate my best friend's marriage? I couldn't help but feel astonished at James' father, who kept signing repeatedly. It's clear that he has no intention of listening to me. I instantly understood that. In this situation where my friend's father refuses my participation, how should I overcome it? While pondering on that, James' father urged me, Hey, how long are you planning to stay? The exit is over there. What do you mean by that? Don't you get it unless I spell it out? This is not the place for someone like you to come. Huh? Listen, guests from low-level companies like yours are honestly just a nuisance. I suggest you leave immediately. In that moment, something inside me snapped. Oh no, it's impossible now. I'm sorry, James, but I'm not a person who can attend a wedding after being told this much. I took a deep breath and informed James' father. Understood, then. I'll take my leave. Heading towards the exit as I did, James' father smirked at me. Why is someone like him James' father? He has always been considerate and kind to others. His father's remarks are simply unforgivable. I felt the twinge of regret as I left the venue, driven by my emotions. 20 minutes later, I decided to work at a cafe near the venue. I had already bought a ticket for the return Shinkansen, so there was no other choice. I always carry my laptop with me so I can handle anything that comes up. Never did I expect it to come in handy on my friend's wedding day. While killing time with work, I noticed my phone vibrating. When I checked the screen, I saw a message from James. I hurriedly answered the call and responded to his message. Hello, James? Nick? I heard my dad said something terrible. I asked someone near the reception. If that's what it's about, don't worry about it anymore. I got angry and left the venue. I'm really sorry. There's still time, so can you come back? Well, but returning would only worsen his father's mood. I can't afford to upset the groom's father just because of me. However, despite my thoughts, James kept pleading with me. Please, Nick, I was looking forward to seeing you after such a long time. I feel the same way, but I want to apologize for what my dad did. Above all, I especially wrote your name first on the invitation because I wanted you to be there, Nick. James, so please, I'm begging you. I know I'm being selfish, but I really want you, Nick, to be there. Alright, I got it. I'll come back right away. After hanging up the phone, I settled the bill, swiftly left the cafe, and headed back to James once again. When I arrived at the venue, it seems that James had already informed them about me. As soon as the reception staff saw me, they guided me towards the waiting room. Upon opening the door, James immediately rushed towards me and bowed his head first. Nick, I'm sorry. It seems my dad said something inappropriate. No, it's alright. But I've been wondering, why does James' dad dislike me so much? That's what I don't understand either. I can't even find him to talk. Is that so? As we were having that conversation, the door to the waiting room opened with a loud click. There stood James' father, the same person I had argued with earlier. He approached me saying, "You!" In that moment, James quickly stood between us and raised his voice towards his father. "Hey, Dad, cut it out. Why are you attacking my dear friend like this? Step aside, James. You shouldn't be associating with lowlifes like him." Lowlife? Who are you calling lowlife? Don't you dare insult my best friend. Enough of this. Your father is only looking out for you. You shouldn't be involved with someone like me, who works for a small company. What? Small company? Nick does? Nick? As soon as he heard my name, his father's expression changed completely. He seemed flustered and spoke again. Hey, James, isn't he Rick? Rick? No, this guy is Nick. Well, it's true that Rick is I were close to, but Nick is my one and only best friend. Rick, as mentioned by James' father, was our classmate back in high school. After graduating, Rick's mother fell ill and he had to drop out of college to start working. I heard that he found a job at a small company and worked desperately for the sake of his family. Apparently, James' father had mistaken me for Rick. Realizing his mistake, the father scratched his head. James, furious, shouted at his father, "You called Nick lowlife and talked about small companies earlier, right? Even if it wasn't about Nick, it means you think the same about Rick, right?" No, I was thinking of your well-being. Don't give me that. What's in it for me? Just because you're the president of some famous company around here, you think you can act all high and mighty? James, who do you think you're talking to? Besides, Nick is probably just an ordinary employee or something. Because you insulted my friend, right? Nick is not just an ordinary employee. James' father widened his eyes in surprise at James' statement. Breathing heavily, James began explaining my background. You know, Nick actually runs a highly re-owned specialty tea shop in New York. A specialty tea shop. Lisa's Cafe, where she's the owner, even sources tea from Nick's shop. Thanks to that, Lisa's Cafe has become extremely popular in this area. Lisa refers to the woman who will become James' wife. Lisa's Cafe is thriving that much? Yeah, that's right. And yet, you called her an ordinary person, someone who doesn't belong to our family line, and didn't even bother to listen to what she had to say. Well. Anyway, apologize to Nick right away. Nick, I'm sorry. I apologize for assuming you were just an ordinary employee. Does that mean you're apologizing now because you found out I'm a business owner? Yes. So? What if I were actually just a regular employee at a small company? There would be no need to apologize for that. More importantly, we should go and tell that guy Rick not to attend the wedding right away. James and I sighed at his extremely rude remark. He's only apologizing on the surface, but he doesn't seem to have any real remorse. As we were speechless with disbelief, James, losing his patience, confronted his father with an intense gaze. Cut it out already. Just because you're my father, do you think you have the right to ruin my relationships with my friends? Well, it can't be helped. You're my successor after all. You should choose the people you associate with. Yeah, I get it. In that case, I'm done. I won't inherit your company. What? Shocked by his unexpected response, his father's mouth opened and closed as he tried to persuade James. James, what are you saying? You're currently the executive vice president of our company, and you're supposed to inherit my position in the future, you know? I don't want that. If being that next president means I have to choose the people I associate with, then I don't need to be the president. In fact, I withdraw my candidacy. You're kidding. I'm trying to pass the presidency on to you for your future, you know? I don't care. I don't need a father who belittles my important friends. In that case, I'll support Lisa's dream. Lisa's dream. Lisa wants to expand her business, so I'll help her with her work. What? Lisa had talked about wanting to expand her cafe to the Kanto region and eventually nationwide. Her cafe is already popular around here, so she could probably thrive even if she expanded to Kanto. However, because James was supported to inherit his father's company, they had given up on expanding the business. But if James doesn't inherit his father's company, it's a different story. If he becomes a son-in-law, there is no longer a reason to hold them back. It would also allow Lisa to focus wholeheartedly on her business. However, James' father would never allow such a thing. Continuing to shout at his defiant son, "You're joking. You're going to inherit my position," he kept yelling. Then, a man from James' father's company, who seemed to be James' colleague, appeared at the reception desk along with the knocking sound on the door. With an awkward expression, he quietly muttered towards to his father. Sir, I have something difficult to report." "What is it? What's wrong?" "The business guests we invited today have been leaving one after another." "What? How did that happen?" "Well, it seems that they don't want to continue doing business with a company where the president looks down on the guests." "What?" "Apparently, the guests heard me being verbally abused at the reception. The news about my father had spread to other important business partners, and it seems they have had enough." Then, for some reason, James' father pleaded tearfully. "Nick, I understand. I apologize. So please help me." "Well, even if you say that, it puts me in a difficult position. I don't know anything about your company's business situation." That may be true, but please tell the business partners that it was a misunderstanding, that I argued with you." "Huh? Pretend to be a low-level employee." "If Nick tells them that I am an insignificant person who can be mocked, they should understand, right?" Even at this point, it seems he can only think about protecting himself. Beyond anger, it's just plain exasperating. I stopped James, who was about to confront his father, and calmly spoke out. "Can you stop this already? I didn't come back to the venue for something like this. I came back to attend my best friend's important wedding. And yet, why do I have to lie for the sake of your company?" "Please, if things continue like this, my company will really..." "I said, I don't know. A company with someone like you as its president is highly questionable. Forcing your son's future on him. Don't impose your ridiculous ideas on others. That's why your son has had enough of you. Serves you right." With those words, James' father slumped his shoulders, turned pale, and collapsed on the spot. In the end, my father attended the wedding, but he remained an empty shell throughout. Of course, none of the business guests returned. Afterward, James resigned from his father's company. Inspired by his actions, numerous employees began to resign or seek their jobs within the company. There are probably many individuals who couldn't agree with the president's ways. They lost contracts with most of their business partners and eventually fell into debt. At this rate, they wouldn't last 2 more years before going bankrupt. Even his devoted wife, who had supported him, grew tired and divorced him. On top of that, it seems James' father had an affair with his secretary. On the other hand, James married Lisa and finally severed ties with his father. True to his declaration, they moved to Kanto region to assist his wife's cafe business. While helping out at his wife's shop, James also started working at my company. There is no longer anything to obstruct them. I hope this time they can lead a happy life together.